Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Ancient Relics Hokey Religions. I'm JnJake, the real JoshT from JNJtabletop. With me, as always, Obi-Wan Jacoby _TV.
Hello.
Also known as JnJaketabletop from JNJtabletop.
Yep, that's become our name.
Yeah, yep. We've got our best friends here. Michael, also known as Mac, also known as Maddogmsd, also known as Master Yoda.
Also known as Maddogmsd.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. That's why I started laughing.
The flavor enhancer.
Yeah, I barely know her.
Oh my god!
And next to Michael, we have Izzy, socialist Izzy, who plays Melly in this game, and right above Izzy is our good friend Evan at itsevbo on all the things. He was just streaming just before. I was watching him play some. It's not Dark Souls, but that's what I want to call it. I don't know why. Darksiders. Thank you. Yeah.
Sounds like a job for a Jedi.
Sith Lords are our speciality.
Yeah. Okay.
But it's great to see everybody again. I hope you had a great Thanksgiving. I know I did. I just enjoyed a Thanksgiving sandwich, which honestly for me is the best part of Thanksgiving is the next day having a sandwich. But okay.
We're distracting Josh with our in-game chat.
I'm not gonna read the message I just got. Oh man,
it is so.
Oh man. So just some quick announcements. Rare Drop. This is Rare Drop Roleplay. We are one of the shows that is brought to you by Rare Drop. I think right now the Rune 2 sponsored game just ended on Wednesday, I believe. And definitely check that out. All that's available on YouTube. All that is also available on Spotify. Just go to raredrop.co or just do !roleplay, and then you'll be able to find all that stuff. As far as the roleplay content right now, it's us on Sundays, and then Tuesdays we have the Reckoning Hour. And there's a lot of fun stuff going on there. I think they just started a Patreon, is that correct?
That's what I heard, but I kind of don't know anything else about it. I'm guessing that's also on raredrop.co. So if not, just go tag Paul in as many Twitter posts as you can. I love Mondays with a U.
Fantastic. Like I said before, me and Jake are JnJtabletop. Every Wednesdays we post a video just about D&D and about whether it's how to play the game or new books that just came out or just crazy opinions that we have, like saying, I don't know, guidance sucks, something like that. But
it's a valid
one. It is. Watch the video. But yeah, we do that every week. YouTube.com/JnJtabletop or Twitch.tv/JnJtabletop. We're always doing stuff. I think I'm going to be playing some Mass Effect 2 on Twitch sometime this week. I don't know when. Follow us on Twitter and you'll find out. But that sounds like all the announcements, aside from maybe checking out some merch on raredrop.co. Maybe we should get on to the lesson, Mr. Jacoby.
Sure. Okay, so this week's video that J&J did is we went through 11 common errors that a lot of players will make, whether they're newer or experienced. Sometimes, if you've been playing Dungeons & Dragons for a while, you might have older editions and rules and stuff swirling around in your head. Maybe you read something once and you kind of filled in some of the blanks that maybe you missed the first time, and you go back and you're like, hey, this works differently than I thought. So that was our video this week, and I figured I'd just use one of them, and that's how you come to know what your armor class is. So basically, to know what your armor class is, which is just how hard you are to be hit, or whatever creature that is, there is the base formula of 10 plus your dexterity modifier. Now, if you wear armor, that will change the formula. If you have a feature like unarmored defense, like our good friend Echo, he can use a different formula. He has 10 plus his dexterity modifier plus his wisdom modifier because he's a monk. He's good at anticipating and sensing attacks that come at him. So if ever you have multiple ways of calculating your armor class, they don't get added together. Like if Echo somehow became a barbarian and also had the opportunity to have his constitution modifier in there. Oh, Josh has to run away for a minute. He said, don't freak out. If you had the opportunity to also have your constitution modifier in there, you don't get to combine them. You would get to choose one formula. So a good option for that is if you have like heavy armor, like someone, typically a fighter or a paladin will have heavy armor, but they don't add their dexterity modifier. All these things. So no matter which way you go with it, you have to pick one. I know, has Melly decided, let's all leave? You guys are just the worst. You guys are the worst. Oh, before Josh gets back. Well, that could be fun. You guys think we should do that? I kind of want to do it. I
just don't know how long he's gonna be gone.
Oh my gosh. Evan's gone. This could be great. Could leave the headphones on. There you go. I love this. But yeah, armor class. You gotta pick one formula. You gotta pick one. Oh, this is fantastic. So yeah, hold on. So this is, Josh is gonna come back and it'll just be me talking. So I'm not really sure what happened here. Like, everybody seems to be gone. And at least Skelly is thinking about armor class, which is the lesson for the week, so.
I had a distress call from my parents.
They were like, we need help.
Yeah,
Look, a wild elf bow is hiding.
I'm sorry.
It's all good. But yeah, Skelly, if you have any other questions about armor class, plop them in chat. But yes, certain things like a shield, you know, that won't affect. That's just like a blanket +2. There's some things, but that's one of the 11 things that we went over. Some of the more common things we see people get mixed up somehow. So, yeah. There you go, Josh. That's for you.
All right. Great job, Jake. I listened to the whole thing.
I didn't ramble or mumble ever through the entire thing. I was not distracted by you getting up and leaving without me reading the message. Everything was fine.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
No, it's you're good, man. It's just, I'm so smooth.
All right. Great success, everyone. Skelly wasn't actually thinking about it. Just trying to play his role in an epic prank.
And now I feel worse. Thank you, Skelly.
All right. Well, fantastic. If anyone has any other questions, which I'm sure Jake mentioned, but if you have any other questions, just ask them whenever, and we'll kind of note them down. And then once we get to our break, sometime in the middle, we'll go over that. And also, you could just save your question for the break, ask us then, or just DM us, anything like that. We'd love to answer your questions.
You know what I just realized?
What?
So when you say DM us, it's not like Dungeon Master us. You mean like direct message.
No, I mean Dungeon Master.
Oh, well, now it's just even more confusing. That sounds intentional.
Before we actually play the game today, I need to mention something.
Uh-oh.
I just found something out about Jake that I don't even know. I don't know how to feel about it.
I don't think we have to go here, but, you know, if you feel it's important, I support you.
No, he just doesn't watch movies. That's it. And I'll leave it to you guys to figure out what movie that is. Just start making guesses, and I'll let you know.
The spaghetti thing legitimately had me go, what the heck is that?
I thought you were messing with me.
No, it was 100% legit confusion on my end.
Oh, man. Yeah, just stay tuned. Maybe you'll find out what all that means.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I'm a Guntalun Italian. I could make spaghetti jokes. It's fine. It's fine.
All right. On that note, here's the review. Last week on Ancient Relics and Hokey Religions, our adventurers parted ways with a friend they had made along the way, and did a lot of exploring and fighting alongside in the Savalier Wood. She led them to the ruins of Molespear, which, if you remember, is what they've been looking for quite some time now. As they made their way down the road, uneasy as to what they were going to see and kind of with a nervous excitement, they came across a very large wall. And that wall proved to be the most difficult encounter of the day, as we almost lost pretty much everyone except for Echo on their way up the wall. Sorry, everyone except for Mac.
Yeah, Mac. I'm fine.
Yeah. But after they made it through and saw the nastiness and just dark silence of the ruins, they started making their way down to a sort of central hub, a large, tall building in the center of the city. On their way down, they encountered some statues. They looked like statues. They later found out that it was a basilisk that had turned people into stone. A couple close calls, but they made it through. Started cutting up the basilisk. I believe Michael harvested some things. And that brings us to right now.
Yeah, that's where we left off, right?
You've just killed the basilisk. You look around. You have that sort of just heightened awareness that you get at the end of a battle when you're still in that, with your adrenaline crazy up there, just kind of looking around, making sure that the threat is actually gone. And it does seem to be safe-ish.
So has Mac, is he working on the basilisk itself right now, trying to get, or how's? Where's he done?
Michael, did you already get? I think you did, right? You already started trying to harvest.
I think we rolled for it last week. I honestly, I know we either were going to or I just talked about it. I'm not 100% sure.
I'm almost positive that we ended when he said he wanted to collect it, and you said you wanted to pick it up next week.
That sounds
I
right.
think so.
All right, so let's do that. What were you trying to collect, Mr. Mac?
I wanted to collect the poison or venom from the basilisk itself, if I could.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So I think one of the things I did tell you last week is that you could tell that there was a lot of poison or venom, I don't know which is which, in its mouth area. It had glands in there that it would, when it took a bite out of someone, it would also hit them with some poison too. So if you want to attempt to take some poison out there.
Yes, I do.
All right. That's going to be survival with proficiency.
All right. That's 14.
It's 14. Michael, do you remember how many vials I said you had left?
I had 2 vials left previously. I mean, granted, to be fair, I was using a vial each time I used the poison. I probably shouldn't have been using that much. I don't know. I don't know how quickly they're supposed to get used up or how many uses each vial has.
I would say each vial has 2 uses. In most cases.
I'm trying to think. I have 2 on my sheet is how many I have left.
Okay, perfect. So you are able to fill up 2 if you'd like to, or if you want to just fill up 1, that's fine too.
No, I'd like to fill up 2.
Okay, you're able to fill up both, no problem. You found out where it's what did they used to call it, gleek, something like that, when you just like shoot. Yeah, exactly. You find it and you're able to just kind of shoot it out. You're freaking out.
I used to be able to you stick your tongue on the roof of your mouth and it's like you could just
yeah. It's a hate crime now, but
when I was in school, we tried to get together and we called it a gleek club.
So you guys all watched Michael pull this poisonous liquid out of the basilisk. What's going on? What's happening now?
I think while
I think as he does that, I put a hand on the bite mark, like the couple bits of fang that nicked my skin from that bite, because I think now I'm feeling that little bit of a burn from it. But I think that's it. I don't necessarily like bring any attention to it, but just kind of like, oh geez, yeah, ow.
Okay. While that's happening, Vale would be looking at Melly. What is Melly doing?
I think Melly will have like kind of slumped like she's sitting on her butt on the ground, still kind of wide-eyed and in shock about everything that just happened.
Okay. Vale would sit next to Melly. I imagine just on the ground or like on the edge of the pool. Wasn't there like a little fountain?
She's like just in the dirt.
Okay. Vale would sit next to her. With just look. His eyes are watching what Mac is doing on the basilisk, but he would just say, "Melly, I don't feel like it's my place to really tell anybody what they should do, but you could have turned to stone. Right there."
I don't even know what to say.
I feel like
That
Vale's
was
just
terrifying.
He's just like picking at like a weed or something like that, just fidgeting. He's got nervous energy. Yes, are you alright? You seem like you're fine.
Yeah, I was a bit stiff, but other than being a little scared out of my wits, I didn't take any damage, but is everyone else okay?
I hardly think that's the question right now. But, yes, I'll say I'm doing all right, and I believe Mac is fine as well.
Yeah,
all things
I'm good.
considered.
Vale just stands up and his jaw's clenched, his brow's kind of furrowed. He's just kind of steps aside for a moment, and just tells Isla to go do a lap.
Vale.
Yes.
You mentioned, and I'll say there's kind of a knowing sort of maybe look that goes on his face, knowing that Vale likes to have a problem to solve. I believe you were the one who said not to look at this thing. You said this was, what was it, a basilisk?
Yes, they're just by needing their eyesight, and you can. Well, and he just gestures at the statue of the guy with the staff and pointing. I think he's pointing towards a burn mark on the building, if I remember correctly, Josh.
Yes, on the corner of that building. Yeah, well, do you know of any? I don't know. Is there a way to reverse this? I mean, luckily we didn't have to, and I kind of, since I'm over there now, I put a hand on Melly's shoulder, trying to be as comforting as possible while realizing I'm probably not being very My wording does not indicate that.
Sure.
Seeing as it seemed so easy for this to turn us to stone, is there a way to reverse this? Anything you can think of?
I will ask the DM if I know. I don't remember what kind of check you made me look at before, but now that I know the creature itself, I don't know if that would be another check. Or if I can.
Hold.
I'm trying to take over the world, Josh.
That was very good. That was very good.
Thank you. Although now I've got a splitting headache thanks to Mac. He stabbed the brain. Anyways.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Okay. All right. Give me 1 second. I'm just
good.
looking up the parlaying with monsters, and
Sure.
you'll see. Roll me a nature or survival check.
Nature or survival. I think they're the same for me.
Or
Or maybe I know of any historical accounts?
roll history.
Yeah.
Is this something that I may have come across my travels and my adventuring? I don't know how common basilisks are, or
They're more common in dark places, like underground. Pretty much since all of this city is covered, the sun doesn't really reach down. It kind of fits that same bill.
I grew up in a night elfish area, so, or is it dark elves?
Dark elves, yeah.
Dark elves.
So
So
stop playing World of Warcraft.
yeah.
I got an 18 on my history.
18 on your history?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I would say you know that you have heard of powerful restoration magic being able to reverse this. Something of a greater level, if you will.
Sure.
Aside from that, you've heard of very, very powerful and renowned alchemists being able to do work on it and reverse it. You don't really know the whole process of how that would work, or
Okay.
if it even can be done. You've just kind of heard the rumors.
Sure. The Veil's brow somehow furrows even more as his eyes kind of dart back and forth as he's trying to remember. Yeah, just like that, Evan. And he just... Outside of... I know that the powerful divine magics can fix it. But there are also some kind of alchemical combination that I don't... I know it is possible, I don't know how it's done.
Oh, that is a shame. Well, we could always certainly keep this place in mind, and if we either find a powerful, I don't know, holy magic user, or an alchemist, maybe there's something that can be done.
I wonder if there are people obviously left this place in a hurry. I wonder if there's a church or an alchemy shop that was abandoned quickly.
Ah, I like where your head's at.
They might have something there, I don't know. He kind
Could
of just
certainly take a look.
looks at the other three as if I can't figure it out.
Mac, why don't you roll me nature or survival as well, Mac? So if you grew up in a
9.
a 9, alright, yeah. Everything he says kind of checks out. You're kind of thinking, yeah, I feel like I might have heard those stories before. Yeah, sure, I know that. Yeah.
What kind of a... I know this is a city of elves. which I would guess would be typically Coralon or Palore, if we were to look for a church.
It's hard to say. Did they all worship the same gods in this place, or?
I mean, just would be a standard operating procedure, I guess, would be what you'd think, but all is a very strong word.
What do you like? You want to know what type of church you would find here, or you want to just kind of look and see if you could find a church in general?
I guess both. Echo, if you want to take a moment to rest, we could, dare I say it, split up.
Sounds risky, but
now
what do you think, Mac?
I'm gonna throw this out here, guys, but I'm not against trying to help this rock out, but we have a specific goal here, and this is not a good place to just be wandering around looking for random things. I mean, if that's what you guys want to do, I mean, I'll be for it, but I don't think that's the smartest thing at the moment.
You may be right, Mac, but to be fair, we also don't know why we're here. Maybe in a roundabout way, this is why. Or, at the very least, while we're looking, maybe we find some sort of magical restoration.
Churches are usually
I will say,
pretty big.
I acknowledge and I do understand your trepidation of this, having almost potentially lost someone. You're right.
Well, and then not
some
only
caution
that,
wouldn't go amiss.
But if we did find something, I don't know if I'd be wanting to use it on some random person when we may run into more of these things. And we might need it for one of us.
Maybe this is something we circle back to then. If we're leaving and we have a resource that can be used on them, then maybe that's when we would do it.
We'll keep it on the rear of the flame.
Huh. It's a pretty good way of looking at it.
I'm also very hungry.
Should we take a break for a moment?
I don't, I mean, I should be all right. Melly, how are you feeling? Would you like to stop for a few? Would that help?
I think that would be a good idea, but maybe we should not stay out in the open.
Agreed.
Definitely.
All right, well, let's find something, I suppose. Lots of buildings to choose from.
Yeah. I think we're looking to take a short rest in game terms.
Sure thing. You're looking for a building to do that in, correct?
Mm-hmm.
How do you go about finding it? What are the features that you're looking for in a safe place to rest?
Good question.
Could it look like a church or perhaps an alchemy shop?
Great question.
You guys.
I love that.
If you want to, that's what you want to look for? That's what Melly's looking for?
I would say if we could see one from where we're standing,
Sure.
then probably. But if there's nothing that looks similar to that, just an eye shot, then I would say we probably wouldn't personally.
And just
a regular
like
home could be also a good option.
there's homes all kind of destroyed. Kind of looks like I mean, if you've ever seen any World War II movie where they just go through streets that have been bombed out and just fought on for long periods of time, like it kind of looks like that. Everything, the stone is kind of crumbled in some spots. The one difference I would say you see here is that there's a lot of fruits and thorns and just moss and fungus growing out of a lot of these areas as well.
Sure.
Right around you, there are some homes. There is like we'll say like a staircase on the edge of one of these homes if you wanted to kind of like climb up and get a bird's eye view and see if you find something nice. Otherwise
second
you could
floor,
easily just pop into one of the homes.
A second floor or third floor would probably be nice.
So you're able to find a building with three floors without any issue.
All right. Anything with a window that we could see outside as well?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. While we're doing that, I think I would just tell Isla to go see if she can find a church, and I tell her what a steeple looks like. See if she can find it.
I'm actually not going to be resting. I am going to be looking out and keeping an eye out for anything, like vigilantly watching, specifically, like, it may still technically be resting, but my focus is on keeping an eye out for anything coming, going, noises, anything going on in the area.
Sure. Why don't you roll me perception, and Jake, why don't you roll perception for Isla? Or investigation, whichever one you roll.
Do I get to reroll those on on perception checks?
I think it's all ones. But
okay, good.
Yeah.
Well, I wish Isla could, because I also rolled a 1 for her, so...
Well, that's a good reroll. That's a 20.
Buy new dice.
The second time it rolled an 18.
Send help. We're number one. We're number one.
Oh my gosh, yeah. That needs to be a t-shirt that I get to reroll this.
100%.
Isla is trying to get a good look at what's going on out there, but there's so much fog and things are just in such a state of decay that she's not able to get a good idea of what's what. It all just kind of looks like a broken down, sad, ruined city.
Yeah.
All the buildings just kind of mesh into destruction.
Okay. Should we apply a short rest?
You could apply a short rest.
Yeah, okay.
I will say that when Melly notices that Echo got hurt, she would have patched him up. Echo, I'm sorry, I didn't realize how awful that attack was. Are you okay?
Melly, don't worry about me. At least not now. Let us take care of you. You can take care of us later.
At least let me wrap it up some for you.
Oh.
Melly's gonna tear off some from her clothes and just like fix a bandage around it.
That strangely helps quite a bit. Thank you. Is there anything you need?
I just think I need to keep my wits about me. I was very shaken up by the state of the town, and I don't know what I was expecting, but it certainly wasn't this.
Look, don't beat yourself up over it. I don't think any of us were expecting to run into something that would turn you to stone by looking at it. It's not your fault. Just, I think we all need to be a little more aware of what we might be dealing with. But I'm glad that we still have you here and sentient.
I'm very glad to be here still.
I feel like Val would just kind of be standing, staring out the window. Like, just looking.
Good. Echo, when you were resting and like kind of hanging out, did you have any of your did you go through your bag for any sort of like medicine supplies or any sort of like jerky or anything like that, or did you kind of just hang out?
Like something at this point I might have looked for a ration or something. But besides that I don't really think so. He was getting a little bit hungry, but unless there's something I don't know about, I didn't really feel any inkling to do anything else.
When you're looking through your bag for that ration, you find a little package inside your bag. And there is a note.
I'll be right back. I'm just going to look around. And I'll step off to the side a little bit and open up the note.
When you open it up, it says, Echo, I thought you could use these. I don't know how you could possibly be walking on those shoes all day, every day, in those destroyed sandals. Be safe, my friend. You open it up, and you got a new pair of sandals in there that kind of just, it has that same design that all of them kind of had, that like that, you know, all of their clothes in the Tabaxi village, they were all kind of simple, and they're, you know, you can see they made it themselves, that kind of deal. But she snuck it in there for you. The sneaky.
And just without even, I don't even think he says another word. He sits down immediately, throws his shoes across the room, his destroyed ones, puts the new ones on, and feels them out for a second. And then I think he sits down for a second. As weird as this is, he'll take them back off and just look at him for a moment. And then just kind of like, just hold them for a sec before he puts them back on and gets back up. I got a little something from a friend of ours. Something I've been meaning to get for a while, and, well, nothing fancy, but now my feet won't hurt as much.
Oh.
She's a sneaky one.
Did Rain
Snuck
give
them into
you
my
those?
bag. A nice surprise, to say the least.
Val's face and it softens.
When you think back to like the hug when she said goodbye, you're like, maybe she lingered a little bit too long. Maybe that's what she was doing.
Oh. Yeah, I don't think he says anything else about it. And then just goes to meditate for a bit, focus on the warmth of that.
Cool. All right. So, Mr. Max, perception check. You've been kind of standing at the window, opening, just kind of keeping your eyes peeled, looking around. That's what. Yeah. What are you looking for? You're looking for just anything that might come up the way.
Yeah, I mean, listening for things, just trying to pay attention to anything and everything, and also trying to see if I see anything unusual. I mean, granted, I'm sure I can't see that far, down the roads, but if anything just looks off, like seeing something swaying when there's no breeze, or things of that nature, is anything that would catch me as being different than the surrounding area.
Sure. So far, everything seems all right. You haven't noticed anything out of the ordinary. There is still that just terrible silence, that just inexplicable silence where, like, there should be noise, there should be wind, there should be wildlife moving around, but you can't really get a good feel for, like, any sort of noises coming through. One thing that you do notice is in the distance, probably about, like, we'll say a half mile down, you see a building. And on the top of this building, there is an 8-pointed star. How familiar is Mac with religion? We'll just...
Semi-familiar. Like, I wouldn't say that I am hardcore and everything, but I pay attention to what's going on around me in the world, and I've been around, so if it's a major religion, I would think I would at least be aware of its symbols, just to kind of... Perfect. I mean, I'm a thief and deceiver kind of a person, so you kind of need to know who it is that you're dealing with. Exactly.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to ask you. Are you familiar enough to know the symbols for, like, kind of the main deities? And you answered that question, so you would know that to be the symbol of Palore, something like that. Jake, how do you say that? Palore?
Palore? I don't know.
Palore.
I say
Palore.
hello.
Yeah,
Hello.
that's what I was going to say, too. Which is a god of healing and sun. They represent life, light, and nature. So you were the one who was searching. So you're the one who noticed that. Isla kind of just went right by it. So you could keep that information to yourself or share it. That's up to you.
So I do have a quick question about that. Mm-hmm. Is it in the same direction that we are going to be heading to get to the place that we were originally going, or is it like down one of the side roads that we would not go past it?
It's off that main road. Like, it's not on the main road that you guys have been kind of walking down. It's not necessarily out of the way. It's just kind of like a side street, like you're going straight and this is to the left, if that makes sense. Which I don't remember if you were the one last week, but one of you said last week maybe you shouldn't travel along that main road.
I did mention that, or 'cause I was trying to see if there was another avenue to head. Has the long rest ended? I don't say anything right at this moment, but we'll see.
Does Vale or Melly have anything else?
I don't think Vale would necessarily... Vale's actually very much kind of collapsed in on himself during this rest. He's been kind of staring out the window. But after Echo got his sandals, his face definitely softened a bit, and he doesn't say anything, but he does sit down near Melly, just It's not like he's avoiding eye contact with people anymore. Like you could tell, it's like a little.
Yeah, Melly, I think she would have just been, hanging out, maybe trying to meditate, but not being able to focus. Just sitting around.
Right, yeah, so we'll say the short rest has ended.
Just so that you're aware, I used 2 hit dice and got back up to full aided HP.
Fantastic. Nice.
It's good rolls.
Anybody else use hit dice?
I was full. I just got my Misty Step back.
I think Echo is the only one who did damage.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you...
As we're going back on the main road, I'm gonna say, so while I was kind of keeping an eye out for things, I did notice that there is a Church of Palore up ahead, up a little ways, that we may be able to check out. I still don't necessarily think it's a great idea to go wandering, but
how far out of the way is it?
It's just it's not that far. I mean, it's just off the road over here, up a little ways. I mean, I'm assuming it's probably like what, maybe a few blocks down, then a block over, or something kind of a thing. Like
it is exactly a few blocks down and a block over.
I think we should check it out. I mean, what if we do find another one of these things and there was a resource to protect ourselves that we don't have?
Or we run into one because we went there.
Well, you face that chance.
But you did say
we
Palore.
go.
Isn't Palore the god of healing, light?
He's the Dawn Father.
Probably worth a look.
What do you think, Millie?
Maybe there'll be a cool knife in there. Who knows? Would that make you happy?
I definitely don't want us to do anything that causes unnecessary danger to the group, but I think if we're able to find something that we could use, even if it's just one thing, it would be worth it.
What's the worst that could happen, huh?
Echo looks at the camera and pulls his collar. And goes,
I actually glare at Vale for just a moment and go, "You had to say that."
He just shrugs.
And I just start walking towards the church.
That will follow.
Wonderful.
But you guys do also notice that my hand is on my rapier right now. It's not drawn, but my hand is already on my rapier, just as I'm walking.
Vale's bow is out. I mean, he doesn't have an arrow, but he's got his bow in his hand, so he's right there with you.
How does it look like? Or I guess you told me what it looks like while you're walking down there. You're trying to be stealthy, or are you just kind of just walking by, but you're right?
Yeah. I mean, cautiously, where we're trying to make sure we're seeing things.
Yeah, that would probably, I would say, perceiving what's going on is at a higher priority than stealth. Trying to be quiet, but I would say that my focus, because we're going down a main road, there's not, I mean, unless we're like, bunny hopping from step to step and like, we're not doing that. We are walking kind of, I would say, closer to one side than down the middle. But at least this is in my head. If any of you guys disagree, please let me know, and we're just trying to keep an eye out for anything that may come at us and being very vigilant and quiet, but not hiding.
Sounds good to me.
I like it. All right. Why don't you roll me perception, everyone?
That's a 9.
5 for Vale. Isla 2 or no?
If Isla's flying overhead, sure.
She's always. Yeah. 19 for Isla.
16.
17.
Probably okay here, I think. I hope.
So yeah, so far you're feeling okay. You just kind of zigzagging in and out between stepping over thorn bushes and just some nasty brush that's growing up between cracks in this cobblestone road. And after a little bit, you are able to make it to the outside of this temple. There are it's kind of a large building. And there are these two very, very tall doors right out in front of it. It's kind of built like a, any sort of Catholic church that you've seen. Like it's got that tall roof. It's got a little bit of a staircase, a stone staircase going up, and that staircase, of course, is just kind of broken in places, and there's cracks going up. The rail is gone, if there ever was a rail.
Is this like a standalone building, or is it like a, where there's like, I don't want to say yard, but space in between that, like that you could go around it, and it's that building, or is it attached to other buildings, like other storefronts?
It's actually it's on a corner, and it does look like it has some space to itself. As you kind of look around, you see that there's this ornate iron gate towards like the just next to the building, and there are some graves there, some stones, and some of them look to be okay. Some of them are kind of wrecked, and there's thorns going throughout.
Do I see? I kind of want to go over to the gate and look. Do I see any other entrances or doors, like side doors, from that gate area? Like I haven't gone into that area, but yeah, or broken windows, any other openings that we might be able to get inside.
There's windows, like along the side. There's kind of just windows all lining the side of the building. A lot of them are broken and kind of messed up. If you want to, there is like a backside of the building that you can't really get a good look at, being on the front end and even looking towards the side. You probably either have to walk through the little graveyard area, cemetery area, or just walk around it. But either way, I'd say you'd be able to get to the back of the building. And I'd say it's safe to assume that there's probably a back door.
Would guess that these doors and gateways, they look really old. Like, do they still look intact, like they're doing the job, or are they like broken in?
The front door, like the large doors,
yeah,
they look fairly intact.
Okay.
Not broken down or anything. That's as far as like the wood on the door, like it looks okay, but you would really like the hinges and that kind of stuff. That's all going to be on the inside. So from the outside, it looks all right.
That door is going to make a lot of noise if we tried to open it.
That's what I was thinking, trying to see if there might be another way in, whether it's a smaller back or side door.
Could send Isla, take a look.
Yeah, she could probably fly around pretty relatively quickly.
Yeah, she's got a fly speed of 50 feet, I think. But yeah, I'll send her around and see if she can find another door or anything.
Yeah, there is a back door. Just as you expected. Regular back door. Small, man-sized door. It's not not anything massive or ornate. It's just kind of there for the purpose of doors entering and exiting.
Mm-hmm. There is a door. Would probably also make noise, probably less. Unless we wanted to try and climb through a broken window.
Personally, I'm over climbing.
That's a good point. You want to try the back door?
Yep, we'll go to the back door.
Okay. And it is kind of, it's behind those iron gates too, or the iron
Throne?
It's behind the iron like little fence that's around that cemetery. So you would either have to push one of the gates open or just hop over it. It's not very tall, about 3 feet tall. So I wouldn't make any of you roll for it. You could just do
If the fence like that's connected to looks sturdy enough, I would hop over it.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, you're able to do that. No problem. As you walk through, everybody does that?
Yeah.
All right. As you all walk through this area, trying to get to the back door, everybody roll a wisdom saving throw.
Oh, good golly. 10. Isla too?
12.
Not Isla.
Okay.
15.
God.
Melly got a natural 20.
Natural 20? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So
For 21 total.
Mac and Echo both just have a.
Do you mean Vale?
No, I mean Mac and Echo.
Oh, okay.
Vale seems to be fine, but Mac and Echo both just have a strong feeling of like sorrow and sadness that comes over them as they walk through this area. There's just something about all the death and destruction that you've seen, and the ruins, and you think about all the life that once was here and how it's all gone. And it just kind of overwhelms you with just this feeling of sadness. It kind of like Melly has that thought for a second of like, but she's able to just push that out of her mind. And Vale just, you're fine. You don't even, it's as if you were immune to the feelings of sorrow.
Oh God. Oh God, why are we... This all feels so pointless. Even if we find this, how are we supposed to do anything about it?
What?
Echo.
Why are we even trying? What is the point? If an entire society could fall apart like this, what chance do we have to do anything about this?
Echo, it just takes one small light in the darkness to drive it out. You can't give up hope now.
Yeah,
We're a
but
pretty small light.
that's easy for you to say. You have actual magic to possibly be able to combat this. Me and him, we have our fists and swords. You know, how are we gonna be able to actually fight this?
Everyone plays their role, and it's up to you to decide whether you'll be able to make a difference. Whether it's fighting to save someone who has magic and has a specific ability to take care of something like this, or it's that person who has that ability. Everyone plays a role, everyone has a part. I wouldn't have gotten here without any of you. So please don't think that you're not doing something that's just as important as anyone else.
Obviously, we as players know there's something going on, but would it be appropriate for some kind of insight check or I'm just asking is because that doesn't really sound like Mac. I mean, Echo maybe. I don't know. If you don't think so,
I
totally
would say you could roll an insight check, and Melly, I actually want you to roll persuasion.
Oh, 21.
I'm going to give you inspiration as well for all that just now.
I got a 21 on my insight.
Yeah, you could tell that like this is I mean, those feelings that he is feeling are real. They're totally real, and it's not faked. But that is there's something more to that. It's not Mac. It's not like Mac. It's even not like Echo. Echo might experience sadness and stuff like that, but hopelessness, I don't remember you ever seeing that from him. I could be wrong, but that even that from him is a little odd.
Yeah.
Melly rolled a 18, and so that's a 23 total for her persuasion. She's a very persuasive woman.
Yeah. I am going to say that your speech that you gave them was enough, and they kind of snap out of it. And there's still feelings of sadness there. But they also have a realization that there was some sort of enchantment to this place itself, to just the area. And that, like, although they did feel like that sadness, your thoughts weren't your own for that moment.
You're right. You're right. Oh, gods. I'm sorry. I feel strange. Let's keep going. Something's not right about this place.
You'd like to leave, or you'd like to keep going into the church?
No. Let's keep looking. But I don't think that was all me. At least for a moment there.
Do you want to?
There's something
watch?
here.
Maybe outside.
I'd rather not be here.
All right.
I think this place right here is the problem.
Okay.
I can't quite put a finger on it, but there's something here. Mac, are you okay?
No.
Yeah. Me too.
No, so it's just, I guess, continue to the back door.
Okay.
Or this Vale starts heading that way.
Yep. Yeah, you get there, no problem. I'm going to step over some thorns and vines, and a couple catch you along the way, and you got to do that dance where you're like, please don't stab me, like take it off, but you're able to get through.
Mm-hmm. And the door looks like it's still intact. Does it look rotted at all, or?
It looks like it's in okay shape. It is closed, but
there's like a handle.
There is a handle. Yep.
Vale just casts Mage Hand and tries to turn the handle, as if it's a knob or if it's
like one of those where you just kind of.
Okay. Yeah. So he gingerly tries to push the thing down with it.
Doesn't budge.
Yeah. Does it look rusted? Is it like?
It seems like it might be locked. Is what the problem is.
Is it something that can be picked from the outside?
Looks like it.
Then I want to try to pick the lock.
Do you think?
Was that sleight of hand, or is that a proficient tools?
I do Dex with proficiency because he's proficient in Thieves' Tools, and I'd say that's a Dex-based use of it.
So it's a 15.
15? Yeah. Easy peasy. You're able to get in there and just with your you just pop in there with your rake, actually, and just kind of like, and then you're able to get it open and push the door open and just kind of.
And then the door just falls off its hinges.
Right on the little halfling.
No, but I kind of want to now.
Like, if you just push the door to begin with.
Great.
Yeah, but there's kind of there's like a walk, like an open room over to the right and a staircase straight forward.
I'm assuming Mac is in the lead here.
Yeah, I mean, I just want to continue forward. I mean, I guess we're starting to look. I mean, is it, how big of a room is this, or is it just a walkway?
It's kind of like to the right. The one I said was kind of like an opener. It's not a very large place. I mean, it looks like maybe 20 to 30. You know, really be really tight if there were 30 people in there. But it looks like kind of a little a spot where about 20 people could have hung out together and sat together. There's a table in the middle. As you kind of look through, there's another open doorway forward and to the left past the table. Kind of would be like underneath the staircase. The staircase was leading up, if I didn't mention that.
I would want to check out that little room first.
Okay.
They'll follow.
So you walk through. Everything in this room kind of looks exactly the way you'd expect something in Willismere to look. There's vines going through, like roots that have kind of just cut through the foundation of this building and stuck out the floor. There's like this black mold-like substance on the walls. That table that I mentioned is kind of in decay. As you walk through the room and make it towards the other side, it appears to be like there's some sort of counter and a cupboard in that next room, and almost like someone might prepare like the food or like light refreshments, like something like that. It's not like a full-fledged kitchen there, but if there was to be some sort of that it seems like that might have been the purpose there. And these cupboards are, the cabinets are open and the shelves broken inside of them, and it's all just kind of in disarray.
Be careful for rodents.
I can handle my mice.
I know you can. I'm just. Anyways.
I mean, I guess. Wait, do we see anything of note that would merit additional searching?
Are you trying to like look through the cupboards and see if there's anything in there, or like, because at first glance it's like it's just wrecked.
With seeing that it's a kitchen, I wouldn't want to deep dive into it. If any of the others have a different opinion, you know, we can each do.
I think we'd be looking
thing.
for like an altar, maybe something that might look like a sacred spot, or maybe like offices or.
Yeah, and here, like, the only thing you notice is just like the cupboards are all kind of broken and messed up. There's like little tiny cups like fallen on the ground and whatnot. But you get the sense that like anything important might be up those stairs.
Before we continue on, Melly's gonna cast Detect Magic again, just in case, like, I don't know. My mom was always like, oh, like, this is important, so let me hide this in this very obscure place. It's like that bread drawer that no one ever uses.
Yeah. And that can see through, like, stone or wood, or how does that work?
Let me see. So you can use your action to see a faint aura around any visible creature or object in the area that bears magic, and you learn of its school of magic, if any. The spell can penetrate most barriers, but it is blocked by 1 foot of stone, 1 inch of common metal, and a thin sheet of lead, or 3 feet of wood or dirt.
That's probably gonna find most things.
So, does anything light up in the kitchen?
Sorry.
It's like a disco rave.
The pretty colors.
Yeah, nothing lights up in the kitchen.
Okay. And I believe that lasts for 10 minutes. So
I guess you want to lead the way?
yeah, sure. Unless someone wants to go in front of me and check for traps. Nope, okay.
I if the church is trapped, we're gonna get caught by it. Like, I would not think that there would be any traps here, personally. Like, when we go to if we try to, like, open a sealed chest, I could maybe check for if it was, protected, but, like, the church itself, I wouldn't be worried about traps in there.
Okay, all right,
now,
yeah.
Josh is like, arming this traps here, traps there. No.
Definitely.
Yeah, Melly will take the lead. So I used the wand of Detect Magic, and it didn't appear to let me know of anything in the kitchen, so let's carry on.
Yes, we'll be right behind you.
Alright, so do we want to go up the stairs, or... Alright. Melly will start walking up the stairs. She's gonna copy what she saw Mac do. She's gonna, like, test them a little bit to make sure that they're not gonna fall through. And then walk up the stairs.
Okay. Yeah, so you're able to just kind of look through, and everybody can kind of tell, like, oh yeah, look at her. She's leaving her traps. She's doing. And you're able to kind of walk up these stairs. It's not a very large staircase. It's like right about the same size as the staircase you saw out front of the building, the stone one with the cracks. This one is wooden. As you're walking on it, just kind of squeaks as you take each of your steps. And it brings you up into what looks like the main chamber of this place. So you've probably been in the temple before. There are just kind of like some pews there for people to sit on. There's a altar up front. What the heck is it? With that just bright 8-pointed star in the middle. It just kind of sits there on the wall above this altar. and it almost looks like there's a brightness to it, which is a nice change of pace, because when you're looking at the rest of this area, it's kind of like dark and destroyed. Like it's more so than like some of the other stuff you've seen, I would say. The nature of like the destruction around here, I would describe it, it's kind of like burn marks, but if for whatever reason it feels like necrotic. You know what I mean? Like it just feels darker. There's that mold all over these walls. There's places of this moss and fungus growing. Some of the thorns have kind of come through here. You could tell that the windows along the side, that they were once these great stained glass masterpieces. The artwork that must have been there, but now it's just destroyed.
And does everybody see the symbol seems bright, has a brightness to it? Or is it just Melly?
I'd say Melly is the first to see it.
Okay. But it's not like her detect magic going off. It's
not like her detect magic going off.
Okay.
Although I would say you all would notice this. There's 2 spots that are untouched by this darkness throughout. There's that 8-pointed star where the light is coming off of, and then there's also kind of like a pedestal with like a pool of water. And Melly, when you look at that, the star and the water are shining bright because you are detecting magic.
Do I know what school of magic they are?
You are supposed to know that, aren't you?
Do you know what school
I think it
of
says
magic
if
they
any,
are?
but it is always fun to do that to the DM. It's like, what?
It's not really a school, but I'd say you it's like a radiant divine magic that's coming off of this.
Mm. So
I'd
probably
say that
not.
you especially would be able to notice that.
So probably like homeschooled, not public schooled.
Well done. Wow.
Oh
Yes,
my gosh.
exactly that.
Oh.
Well, obviously this area's been touched by unholy things. That the star up there seems to be very pure, some sort of holy magic, as well as that pool of water over there.
Maybe abjuration by the star.
I'm also getting a hint of abjuration from the star.
Detective magic.
Well, that does add up. Seems to be the only thing here that's still intact.
And untouched by any of those odd burn marks that seem a little bit more nefarious than I would think a regular burn mark would look.
So this is different than the way, like, the burn mark Echo saw untouched, right?
Yeah, the one Echo saw untouched was like definitely fire. This one has like a darkness to it.
Yeah.
That's more than that.
Val casts his mage hand and just kind of just touches one of the burn marks with it from like 20 feet away, if you can.
Yeah, it's like typically when you would touch like a something like burnt with that layer of like carbon on it. You would have the black rub off on your finger. And in this case, when you kind of put the mage hand over it, I'm pretty sure the mage hand is like spectral, but in this scenario, I'm imagining it as like a white Mickey Mouse glove, and
with 3 fingers instead of.
And as you kind of rub your finger along it, there's a dark and messy purple hue.
So now that's left on the mage hand, or it's
left on the mage hand, yeah, and it slowly just kind of mists away off the mage hand.
Don't think we should stay here too long.
Are either of those 2 things what you guys were looking for or hoping to find?
Could take a look. I don't know what would be on that star, but maybe this one. You pointed out the water, right, Izzy?
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe the water has some properties to it. I don't know.
Maybe worth looking at if it was if it appeared to be, what was the word? Abjurative,
Yes.
protective. Couldn't hurt.
And I kind of interrupt slightly. I think the word you're looking for is quickly.
Yes, I agree.
Mac is having none of this being in this church with the feeling that we had outside. I'm just over it.
I like to think, I don't know if we mentioned it or if I wrote it down, but I like to think that Vale probably has 1 or 2 of those vials from the witch's hut that was empty.
Okay.
Sure. And he would just take his mage hand and try and grab one of the things and try and fill up the container with the water.
Sure. And I would say that, yeah, so your mage hand grabs the vial, scoops out some water, fills up the vial, fills up the photo flask just to make game terms easier.
Yeah.
Fills up the flask. And it's kind of crazy because, like, as you fill it up, and I don't know if you fill up the second one too, did you said you had 2? Did you want to fill up just one or both of them?
Yeah, if I had 2 empty ones, I would fill it up.
Okay. Yeah, so as you fill up both these flasks, it looks like the level and the amount of water that was in this container or pedestal, it's like a sink without a drain, essentially.
Sure.
The amount of water that was in there doesn't change. There should be less in it now than there was, but it is still full. And Melly would know that this is holy water.
Well, I'm not sure if it'll make much of a difference, but Melly will walk towards the water, being careful to avoid if there's any burn marks on the floor. I am fairly certain that that is holy water, which explains why...
Oh, excellent.
Yeah, why the devastation didn't quite reach it.
I can use this for the protection spell I used on you and Echo.
Oh, that is certainly useful.
Yes, it doesn't have to just be the powdered silver and iron. Can we do like a cursory check to see if there's any like hidden compartments in that area?
In which area?
If there's an altar or something that would seem like a spot someone might stash something.
Like literature? Like holy literature, maybe?
Yeah, just...
Ooh.
Maybe taking like... Vale would probably take more time than Mac would be comfortable with, so he'd be kind of be gauging time versus the uncomfortable look on Mac's face as he's searching.
So first off, I would say that the abjuration that Melly noticed was coming from around the area of the star that's on the wall. So typically I wouldn't try to point you guys in any sort of direction, but that I feel like you would realize that.
If it stands out.
Yeah, it definitely stands out. It's one of the areas that's untouched. So that would definitely be something to check out.
How big is that star? Is it like, or is it like?
It's pretty big.
Okay.
Yeah, so I would start searching.
It's like the centerpiece of that wall. Like if you were in a church that has like a big cross on it, that star is like its cross. You know, it's the focal point for sure.
Is there a focal point of it, of the star itself, like the middle point? Too, like it's like a sun that's like bursting out.
Yes.
Vale takes his mage hand and just pushes on that.
Okay. How many pounds of pressure are you allowed to have with mage hand?
10? I mean, it's not a lot.
Yeah, you're able to, like, as you do this, that middle section kind of like clicks in and the star turns. It does just like a quick, like, just 180 degree, like, and as it does that, a tube opens up in the wall behind it, like just a little area, and just kind of pops out, and there's a scroll sitting in there.
Vale just smirks and looks over at Melly. He picks up the scroll with his regular hand. He's too excited.
Melly's looking over his shoulder. She's like right next to him. Vale's like the coolest person in her mind right now.
The scroll is screaming. The detect magic is like, you know, like there's something there.
That's the technical sound for it's magical.
And you can see that it's a scroll of greater restoration.
I can tell that already? Or Melly can?
I think Melly can tell that.
Okay, so because Vale, if as long as he's still fine, he's gonna hand it to her. Yeah.
This was exactly what we were hoping for. How serendipitous.
Really?
It's a scroll of greater restoration, which it's somewhat similar to what I'm able to do, but it's so much stronger, and this is such a blessing. Bill, good job finding this.
Just, I don't know, sometimes the obvious is the way to go. You push the middle. I don't know. Either way, it's good to have this. How many people can this save? Is this for one person?
So just DM, I want to write. It is normally just for one person with the scrolls.
Yeah, so basically greater restoration, I'll just read it out. It is, you imbue a creature you touch with positive energy to undo a debilitating effect. You can reduce the target's exhaustion level by 1 or end one of the following effects on the target. One effect that charmed or petrified the target, 1 curse, including the target's attunement to a cursed magic item, any reduction to one of the target's ability scores, and then 1 effect reducing the target's hit point maximum. So you could do 1 of those things to one person, 1 target.
Would this be something that I could potentially twin with meta magic?
Oh. Let's deal with that if and when we need to deal with that, because I'm gonna have to check into that. So like if we get to a point where you're like, this is something I want to do, if that happens this session, then I'll just look at it quick. But for now it's a big maybe. I'm leaning towards yes, but I'm not sure yet. I want to actually check that before I...
Okay. Well, this scroll and the water, those are the only things that I was able to detect in here, unless you all want to look for anything else, but I also don't know how comfortable I would feel with ransacking a church any further than taking this scroll. So...
Vale just looks at both halflings, and how are they looking?
At least for Echo, the feeling that he was having before has begun melting away after being in this room, partially from the relief of finding exactly what we were looking for, and partially from just being in, like, even though it's mostly destroyed, just like being in a holy place. Just something about like a place of study, of, you know, of this kind of thing. There's a little bit of comfort there, but at the same time, his body language is getting a little antsy the longer that we're here.
Yeah,
I think mostly because he's feeding off of Mac, who is certainly getting, I'm sure, pretty annoyed.
I'm on edge.
Yeah.
Yes, maybe we should go. Probably been here longer than we should have been in the first place.
For now, I'm just going to keep this in the bag of holding. Meliel.
At least we found what we were looking for.
Yes, hopefully we don't need it and we could put it to good use in a non-emergency situation.
Yes.
And this is something only Melly could use, I think, if I'm... Yeah, it's not. It's a divine.
It's available for a bard, cleric, druid, artificer, peace domain, or the celestial. So.
Okay. Yeah, so I think Vale would just start to head back outside, so that we could just resume heading back towards that tower we were heading towards last episode.
Sure. And as you start to walk away, that star that had moved kind of just goes back into place, and as it knocks back into the place that it was in, and you see the middle that you had pushed in just kind of like pops back out. Piece of the glass that's still on the wall. Yeah, a piece of the glass that was still on that window just falls and you just hear it echo throughout the streets.
Is the star still glowing a little bit like it was?
It does still have a faint light to it.
Is it a magical light?
Yeah, it's like a holy light coming from that symbol of Palore.
And when you say it's echoing through the streets, pretty loud, huh?
Yeah, it's pretty loud.
I think we need to go.
Yeah, I think Echo does that sort of like a cat, just...
Yeah. Vale starts to hurriedly walk away.
When it crashed down, Mac's head just kind of went...
Very much I told you so kind of thing.
And then I just take a deep breath and continue on our way.
Yeah.
Just as we're leaving the room, I think Echo will turn around and say, "Thank you, Palore." And...
Nice. Alright, so I'm gonna say Mac, you're probably the most on edge and heightened right now, so make a perception check. Also have Isla make a perception check, please, Jake.
That
22.
is a dirty 20.
Dirty 20? All right. As you begin to walk out of this room, Mac and Isla would send Jake or send Vale kind of like images of this as well. You see this kind of like spectral form of like a elf woman down the street, and I'd say like Mac, you noticed this, but Vale, like you see the image in your head of the glass breaks and this creature turns and just starts darting toward the building. And that moment, go ahead.
I think you should say what you're saying.
And at that moment, let's take a break.
Okay.
If anybody has any questions about anything, drop them in chat.
Yeah.
We're just going to take a couple minutes.
I know what this is.
And then, any questions you have, just let us know, and we will get to those as soon as we get back from break. So we'll see you in a couple minutes, guys. Okay, all right. So if there's no other questions in chat, everybody at my table, any questions here? Or are we good to continue?
I have a question.
Sure thing.
So
I also have a question once you finish.
I would just like to know, are we still inside or outside? And then also, if I know the direction that I saw this creature from in relation to the exit that we're familiar with.
You are still inside. You saw this as you started to make your way out. So you could very easily either stay where you are, try to hide or something, or you could just, run straight out. I would say that it is in the direction, actually, of that central point that you were heading towards. And Michael, you had something as well?
How far away is it?
How far away? 1 second, please. It's about 150 feet away, something like that.
And I wouldn't know what it is other than this ghostly-ish spectral form.
Tell you what, I can have you roll for it, if you like.
That I can.
So roll a d20, and I'll tell you which modifier to add for it in one moment.
Hopefully it's a good one.
All right, so you can do Arcana or Religion.
So that's a 10.
It's a 10?
Me too, since I saw it.
Sure.
I think they're both the same for me. And that's a 5.
That's a 5. All right. So, for the both of you, I would say definitely, Mac, this is a very similar creature to what you saw in the forest that one day when you guys had set up camp and then basically tore down camp and yeeted out of there. Vale, I would think that you would know that. With a 5, I want to say you don't, but I think it might just take you a little bit longer to realize that it's the same. It seems like the same type of creature.
Okay.
I mean, maybe Isla took a fuzzy photo.
Yeah.
Kind of looks like Bigfoot, you know.
Yeah, okay. So if you're in the front of the line, I think.
Yeah, I would be like, quiet, there's something coming. And I kind of, in a hushed voice, say that to them. And I kind of like motion to kind of like get down a little bit also.
Maybe we should hide in the kitchen. The sound came from the central chamber.
So we dip into the kitchen.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay. All right. Everyone, roll me a stealth check.
$15 for Vale.
It's an 11 for me.
I get to re-roll these.
Oh my god!
It's much better. It's a 19.
Oh,
All I'm saying is if we didn't have 2 halflings in this group, things would be looking much, much worse.
yeah. Melly, how did you do? She's been quiet.
Melly does not get to re-roll those.
Oh no! You got a 1 as well?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh.
What'd you guys say? What?
Which way are they going?
It's like
Why are you guys standing like that?
it's like,
Didn't we already search the kitchen?
it's like when someone's whisper is louder than their voice. It's like this is how they normally talk, but this is how they whisper. Like, you want me to be quiet? Like,
All right, let's just to get it out of the way now. Let's have everybody roll initiative as well, just in case you aren't forced to do anything.
okay.
Do I get to re-roll those for initiative?
Holy smokes! I think it's.
I mean,
just
that is an
ones.
ability check, isn't it?
It is an ability check.
It is an ability check. I guess.
I got an initial 20.
Hey, there you go.
I got a 16 for Val.
I got a 13.
Oh my gosh, guys.
Melly.
Sorry, I was writing everyone down. 18.
Right. Okay. Where are you hiding in this kitchen area? Are you all just kind of like running in there? Are you trying to find like hiding spots? What's going on? What does it look like as you all scramble down this staircase and make your way through the open room into this kitchen area?
You said there was like a table, like a prep table of some kind, maybe that might be.
There's a table right outside the kitchen area. There's like an open room, right, and then you go through a little bit to the left, like kind of staircase would be going up. And then like underneath where that staircase is, and a little bit of that second floor, that's where the kitchen area was.
I would just say to where we would be out of. My goal wouldn't be like to hide behind things necessarily, but more of just to be out of view of if something was coming and going up that staircase to go into where the crash was heard.
Okay.
And I would also be looking for another potential exit from the room, maybe from the far side of the room.
Sure.
With magical arrow in hand and a bow.
Fantastic. Roll perception.
Ooh, that's a 21, excuse me.
Okay. We'll say there seems to be another window that you might be able to hop out of, but there is still some glass in there, so it would probably make noise if you tried to jump out of it, and you might cut yourself as well. But this is a first floor, so it's not like you're going to be talking about like fall damage and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I gotcha. Okay. And then just try to take note of where everybody is, and I just got my arrow trained at the door.
Yeah, and I think I'm getting along the same vein. I think what I would try to do is try to get up flat against a spot right next to the doorway, and then check if my little bracers appear to be primed or not, because I still think Echo doesn't necessarily understand how to like get them going. They always seem to be there when it's time, but yeah.
I love that.
Yeah. Yeah, as you kind of get yourself into this position, and the door, by the way, does open. It did open in to this room. So like if you said you wanted to get like kind of behind the doorway, if you wanted to be straight up behind the door too, you could. You don't have to, but just so you know.
I'm trying to think of where his head is at. I think his intent, I think he would actually be on the side of the door where, like, if it opened, he would be right there. Like, not behind it, but in front of it to basically react as quickly as possible.
Sure. Yeah. That's totally fine. All right. So you're able to do that. Mac, you said you're in the kitchen area. Echo is right by that door. Vale, sorry, where did you say you were? I know you said you were looking for an opening, and you also had the arrow in hand.
Since I would be, I feel like I might be kind of across the room a little bit more.
Okay.
But as soon as I felt confident that there was another exit point, I would just then take my arrow out and ready an attack on a hostile creature that I can see.
Okay. Melly, were you with Mac in that kind of like kitchen room?
Yeah, I think Melly will just go hide. I don't know, with whoever will hide with her. She's not trying to hide by herself.
Okay.
Val would just, if she looks confused, he would just motion for her to.
So it seems like Mac is really the only one who's really hiding too, though, because like Echo was, you're pretty much waiting for someone to come through that door so you could attack them, and Vale, it sounded like you were kind of in the corner, like with an arrow, just waiting to shoot that at someone when they come in the room as well.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what kind of overgrowth or situation you got, so that's just all.
Yeah, there's some like light obscurement there.
I was just thinking maybe with shadows and stuff, maybe he might not be noticed.
Sure.
But
yeah, it's definitely
he's prioritizing defense and attack.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And
then just hoping.
Hiding in the kitchen, or kind of like more defensive in the open room with Vale. We'll say in the other corner of it.
Melly will go stand with Vale, and then also if he's got his arrow out, I mean, she's not gonna have a spell prepped, but she's looking for hostile creature too.
Okay.
Just
sure.
looking.
Alright. So 6 seconds go by. Nothing seems to have happened. And the seconds just kind of just seem to take forever as they pass by. Everyone is very aware of any noise happening. And
How broken is this window? Is it like, if I just like, could I remove a piece of glass and it would be okay, or is?
It's not like, it's like there's it kind of looks like someone kicked or threw like a softball through it, right? So it's
okay, so
broken,
yeah,
but it's still there, you know?
Gotcha.
Like you would have to kind of just, to try to get through it. But
maybe we're just waiting, I guess, yeah.
All right. So, as you wait,
Does Isla see anything? Is she outside? Put her up on the roof of the church or something like that.
Isla would see the Spectral Elf. Horrifying looking. Interesting. You see through Isla's eyes.
I feel like if there was a moment where it was like, I don't know what's happening, I'm gonna, look through her eyes.
Okay. Then I would say roll a wisdom saving throw.
Okay. 14?
14?
Yeah.
All right. As you see this creature just kind of flying, like feet not touching the ground. You're not even sure if there are feet. Just a tattered dress that looked like it might have been a white dress at one point, but now it's just dirty and decayed and horrible, floating off the ground, going straight towards this temple that you're in. You have a moment of fear, and you quickly move past that with determination of like you were gonna protect your friends and you're not gonna let whatever's coming here stop you. And
well
we
done
go
on
through.
that.
Huh?
I said well done on that.
We'll say you go through one round of combat. As the second round begins, this creature pops through the wall. Not the door. Pops through the wall. We'll say this whole room is about maybe like 30 feet, something like that.
Mm.
She pops through kind of in the middle, in between Echo and Vale and Melly, and then Mac, you would be directly diagonal from her in that kitchen area. First up, it's going to be Echo.
Readied actions don't count, or?
Readied action, yeah, you can take your readied action if you want action. Well, you were looking, were you looking at the door, or you were looking kind of anywhere?
I mean, I would naturally be looking at the door, but it's just how you want to interpret see a hostile creature. I'm fine with whatever you feel is fair.
Roll perception.
Yeah, okay. Haha, dirty 20.
Yeah, you got it.
All right.
Roll your attack.
That's going to be... I actually forgot my modifier. Okay, so it's +9 with the magic arrow, so that's 19.
19? Yeah, that's it.
Okay. Okay, so 7 + 5, 12 piercing damage, and it is a magical arrow. That is... if that is significant or not.
Yeah, there's like has just kind of just your arrow finds purchase in this like, spectral looking creature where it seems like she was just able to go straight through a wall. So it seems like an arrow should just be able to also just go straight through, but it does stop as it finds purchase in her shoulder. I'm sorry, how much damage did you say you did?
12.
12. Okay.
Almost max.
Right. Echo.
Okay, yeah, with that, Echo will spring off the wall and run up and just kind of real quick, like flex as though he had sleeves to like get the sleeves,
Yes.
off of his hands, because he's still not used to like wearing things on his wrist, but just kind of like flicks them and then runs up and goes to just give a nice double-fisted punch.
Sure, and there's this glow on your wristbands as you continue through this.
Love it. All right, let's see. Wow, 17 plus 7, I believe, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yes, so 24.
That's a hit.
To hit. And let's see the damage. Cool, minimum damage, which is 6. So 6 magical bludgeoning damage.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, you just kind of right into her.
Is she off the ground? Well, I guess that wouldn't really make too much of a difference. She's at like 5 like standing height, I'm assuming.
Standing height, yeah, she's kind of just floating off the ground.
Okay, and seeing as she you know what I will do actually? Whatever direction this would be, because I have Crusher, I can, when I deal bludgeoning damage, I can move a creature 5 feet. So I think what I will do is move it more toward the middle of the room.
Okay. Yeah, you're able to do that.
And then circle around the opposite side, and then follow up with my bonus action. You know what? Do I spend the key point? I think I'm gonna spend the key point. I will make my next 2 attacks part of a flurry of blows.
Okay. Yeah. So just real quick, when you say circle around to the other side, so imagine she's in the middle of this room. Vale is kind of on the top right section with Melly over there. Like I said, Michael's top left. Where do you place yourself?
I guess lower right then.
Okay.
So basically, the idea being that it's pretty much completely surrounded.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that's what I would do. All right. Yeah. Let's see what we do. All right. First flurry of blows attack. Get a +7. 16 + 7 is 23. Beautiful.
That's a hit.
Minimum damage again. 6 magical bludgeoning damage. And I will impose that it will not be able to take reactions until the end of my next turn.
Very nice.
And then I will do my final attack. 17 + 7 again is a 24 to hit. I love this die. I'm glad I switched it out for another one. And please give me more. Okay, 3 + 5 is 7. No, 8 magical bludgeoning damage. And I guess I don't know if it would make any sense. No, yeah, I'm not going to impose any other effect. I'll just do my quick 3 attacks, and then that will be it.
Alright. Yeah, awesome. Very good turn.
I think I'm... Actually, hold on. How far did I move, roughly?
Probably like 10 feet, maybe 15 feet, something like that.
Okay, then I think I'll scuffle back about 10 feet, just to put a little distance between she and I.
Sure. Alright, that's going to bring us to Melly.
All right, so Melly is going to cast Word of Radiance, which is a Con 15 save. She's going to look at the creature, really angry face, and say, "You will not put out these flames." And when she says flames... Oh, how close is she? I'm sorry.
She's probably like 15 feet away from me. I'd say maybe 20 feet, something like that.
Okay. Melly will take 2 steps forward and cast that.
Okay, what'd you say you were casting?
Word of Radiance. So she needs to save on a Constitution, DC of 15.
Oh, let's
And
see.
then that max spell modifier is nice on a sorcerer.
Yeah, that was a 14. So.
Oh, yes. All right. And what is this? Okay, it's that. Which one is that? It's this one. Okay. No, I don't want to roll that one. I'm going to roll this one. Here we go. Okay. 4 points of radiant damage.
Okay.
And
what is that?
Melly's eyes will get really bright, and it'll just be like radiant bubbles coming out.
Perfect.
And then she's gonna back up to kind of like almost behind Vale, but not obviously behind Vale.
Okay. Sure. Yeah, I love that. Is that your turn? Yep. Okay. that brings us to Homegirl in the middle. And as she looks and sees all of you around her, and she feels these attacks on her, everything making purchase, she will just let out this wail and just...
Yeah, like Omnigul before they reduced the sound. Before Bungie got their act together.
There's just blue light flying everywhere.
Oh, God.
And she does have this blue glow to her. And I need everyone to make a con save.
Okay. We can't all fail this one. Okay, I got
20.
15 for Vale.
Okay.
Mac does not look happy.
11.
Okay.
12 for Melly.
That effect does mention if you fail. So
yeah,
I think
so
that implies you would know.
We'll see. Yep.
Okay. Huh?
I was gonna say, right? Like that implies that you knew you failed. That's
Yeah,
when you
if
can
you
use
fail.
it. Yeah.
Well,
She has the feature that lets her add a 2d4.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so you could add 2d4 then.
So I failed?
Yeah, you failed.
Alright, D4s. Here we go.
She failed, but I veiled. Am I right?
This isn't a frightened effect, is it?
It's not a frightened effect.
Okay.
16.
16? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, Mac, you actually drop to 0 hit points and fall on the floor unconscious. Vale, Echo, and Melly, you each take 10 psychic damage as you just kind of feel this sound just kind of pierces into your head, and it's just this ear-piercing scream.
Feel like there's wind and like your cloak is blown back. It's like, what is
Actually,
this?
yeah, the glass in that window, just the what was left of it, just kind of like falls, and the door slams open. And it is now. Well, you know what? She is going to continue her movement and just kind of go right up so that she's standing right next to Melly and Vale. And it is now Vale's turn.
Oh boy.
And when I say standing, I of course mean floating.
Yeah, but she's adjacent to us.
Yeah.
Okay. I am going to just hold my Fire Ruby and cast Chromatic Charge as my bonus action. And again, like the last time we did it, I feel like there are just like these reddish orange glowing, almost like speckles of sand that just kind of seem to grab, and like almost like firefly lights just kind of seem to just like concentrate and vanish. And then he switches to his he just like chucks his bow across the room, switches to his shield and sword, and he's going to attack.
All right. What do you think?
That's gonna miss, I think. It's a 10.
It's 10. I would say that if you wanted to like kind of like loop around and flank with Melly, you could, but if you still want to be in that kind of protective position, like standing beside her, then you wouldn't be able to.
No, Vale would probably do what he could to stay in front of her.
Okay. Yeah, so you just kind of you're sword just has this red glow to it as you swing, and when you make that swing, there's just these embers that kind of just fly off your sword, but you just miss her. She just kind of.
So I am concentrating on it if I get hit.
Okay.
That's a thing. And yeah, then he just stands there, ready to defend.
Okay.
He's done.
All right. That would bring us to Mac. Mac, I'm gonna have you roll a death save.
Is there a modifier?
No modifier.
It's a 6.
It's a 6.
No.
Okay, so you can mark off one fail. And everyone roll perception.
Uh, 9 for Vale.
21.
2.
Okay. Echo, as if we go back to the top of the round and your turn begins, you notice that nothing has happened from the kitchen just yet, where Mac was. So you don't necessarily know if or what that means, but you know that he hasn't done anything. So
Okay. So the creature that we are fighting is unable to take reactions until the end of my turn now. So I think what I would do after kind of making that realization is just like turn my head toward the kitchen and just sort of Mac, and then kind of like quickly duck like amidst the chaos if I have the movement for this. Otherwise I'll do what I need to do. But to see if I can get to the point where I could see where Mac was.
sure. How much movement do you have again?
I have 35 feet base.
Yeah. So with I'd say like 25 feet of movement, you're able to kind of get into the doorway of that like kitchen area, and just as you're walking through there, you see just the rapier sticking out in the doorway and his hand next to it on the ground.
Okay, and I believe... Oh, man. This is a tough one. Okay. I think in the chaos of the moment, Echo will look down and see him, and then just kind of shake his head, and I think he'll just shout, "Melly, help Mac, help Mac!" And then spin on his heels. And is the Banshee within 10 feet? I mean, this creature within 10 feet?
Banshee,
okay.
what's that?
I don't know what that is. So yeah, he'll run and just now with I think a newfound anger, go for just like a big flying elbow at this lady.
Sure. Do you think?
Does he have advantage? Are we flanking?
I'd say you'd probably be flanking. So.
Oh,
Go
okay.
for it.
Well,
Yeah.
probably don't need it, but maybe we'll get a natty. No, okay. So 18 to hit.
That's a hit.
Okay. So my first attack will deal 8 magical bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
I don't think I'm going to do a flurry of blows this time, but I will use my bonus action attack as well. So let's see how we do there. Okay, another 18. Okay, yeah, 18 to hit again.
Okay.
I love this die. This is the best switch ever. Max damage, baby!
Yes.
Max damage, baby! So that's 9 magical bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
Echo's so clutch right now.
Love that boy.
What does that look like as you're just going to town.
So I think what that looks like I said, basically, he turns around, just says, "Melly, get back!" and then just sprints, runs, and comes down with the elbow, like right across your face, and then spins around with his left elbow, like he lands after the first one, and then just spins around and slams the other into her, and then is just sitting there. And I think some of his hair came loose from his tie, and he's pretty pissed off right now. He's not. He's pretty nonplussed.
Okay.
He's breathing pretty heavy. And yeah, I think he's not moving from that spot now. He was trying to be a little bit careful before, but now I think he's had enough.
All right. Awesome. Melly, your turn.
All right. Melly will risk the. Okay. Oh, I can do that. All right. Sorry. I was trying to think of what I wanted to do before, and then I'm... All right. Melly will disengage as her action and run into the room. I'm assuming she has enough movement to get there. She has a speed of 30.
Yeah, it's going to take 15
and
to get there.
Okay, and she will cast Healing Word. But she's going to do it at second level. She's not going to do it at first. Because Mac already went down once before, and now she's like scarred. Did this happen a second time?
Yeah. So what does that mean that you're doing it at second level?
So instead of only getting 1 d4 when I roll it, I get to roll 2.
Awesome. All right, roll those dice.
Okay, here we go. Gonna just... Okay. All right. 10 points of healing. Right? I did that math right? Yes, I did. Okay, yep. 10 points of healing to Mac. And she's just going to be like shaking him almost a little too violently. Mac, wake up.
Yeah, he gets...
I wake up.
Okay, yeah.
No, I'm not muted.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was debating what I was going to do when I woke up.
I was hoping that you said that. Like Mac just says that. I wake up.
No, but you actually start to hear me laugh as I wake up. Like I'm kind of like just laughing a little bit as I'm like coming to and getting back up.
Awesome.
Can Melly say one more thing?
Sure.
All right, so she's gonna be shaking him. He'll wake up, and Melly go, Mac, it's not time for your flame to go out yet. All right, and that'll end her turn.
Mac woke up. Sorry, they're giving people what they want. So, yeah, that was great, Melly. And after you, we are back to the Banshee. As she kind of looks around, sees that she's surrounded. One of the two of you has been doing way more damage than the other. Disrespect, just more attacks, that's all it is.
And hitting every time.
So she turns and looks at Echo and just reaches out for him as this blue just mist is kind of just coming off her hand. That's 12 to hit.
I deftly step backwards slightly.
All right. Perfect.
It's like, no. Ew.
No.
It's trying to touch me. Ew.
All right, yeah, it's now Vale's turn.
All right, Vale, I'm just gonna try to take advantage of, well, use advantage of having the flank. So there you go. Okay, an 18 plus 6. That's probably gonna do the trick.
That's a hit.
All right. So we've got 6 non-magical slashing damage and plus 4 fire.
Oh, it's not magical for
My sword is not magical. The arrow is magical.
But the
It just deals fire damage, or
it just deals fire. It doesn't.
the type
Okay.
of damage, yeah.
All right, just want to make sure.
Yeah, so the slashing is 6 slashing and then 4 fire.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So you kind of just swipe through, and it seems like it almost just the entirety of it just kind of goes right through her, and just kind of like she doesn't look happy about it, but she also doesn't look too bothered by it either. And there are just kind of some sparks and embers that fly off as this heat wave comes off of your sword, your elven longsword.
Yes, sir. Okay. Yeah, he's just gonna stay where he is.
All right, Mac, you're awake. You feel exhausted and just drained. You don't have a level of exhaustion, but the sheer amount of psychic damage that you just took from that just kind of like wears on you. Like you have like kind of like a headache, but you are alive. You are prone. Are you ready?
Okay. So I want to pop up, and I want to look. Can I see the? I can't see the Banshee from where I'm currently at, can I?
I'd say you could.
Or I take a step over to where I can like see it, through the doorway.
Mm-hmm.
And I did not pick up my rapier when I got up, by the way.
Okay.
So I grab my dagger out of my belt and I kind of twirl it, and I go, "Hey, I'm over here, you big horse's ass!" And I run at him and go to stab him with the dagger.
All right.
Yeah, with the dagger.
Yes.
Roll me a d20 with advantage, or roll an attack with advantage.
That's a 15 to hit.
It's 15 to hit.
Actually 16 to hit, because it's a +1 dagger.
Nice. Well, that hits, and that's gonna be a sneak attack too.
All right. That is 17 damage.
Mac, how would you like to do this?
I just like run at it, like right as I yell at it, I like imagine that it just like kind of like turns, and I just literally stab it right in the eye. Like because I kind of like jump at it and kind of like just right in the eye, and just kind of like ride it down into the ground. I don't know if there's a physical component to it when I hit it or not, but
well, typically there wouldn't be, like, if Jake's attack or Vale's attack was any indicator. It seems like anything you hit her with should just kind of swipe right through, but when you come out with that dagger, it sticks right in, and you're kind of hanging off of it as she just kind of like swings around this room. You're being swung around this room as you're holding on to that dagger in the eye, and she just fades away. You kind of pick yourself up on your feet.
well, one down. And I stick my dagger back in its sheath.
Well done.
I look over at Melee and I go, "Thank you so much."
Vale puts his sword in its sheath and then just summons his bow back to his hand. Puts the shield away. What happened?
Art.
Oh, whatever that shriek was took me out. I was down.
Oh. This was definitely not pleasant. But I think we need to get out of here. Anybody
Hate to
missing
say that
anything?
Mac was right, but yeah.
We all hate to say that, Echo.
And you see, at this point, I'm actually not upset anymore. I'm kind of slightly amused. Like, you see, like, it was literally me going down, like, was almost a light switch of my demeanor. For whatever reason.
That's
I like
interesting.
that.
That's interesting.
So I walk back over and get my rapier. And I kind of chuckle. Huh, there wasn't even any blood to clean up this time.
You're in good spirits. Yes. Is there anything to? Is she just like a pile of dust, or is she just gone? There's just nothing to.
Pile of like blue, glowy ash on the ground.
Just kind of poke it with my foot. There's nothing.
Just kind of a blue, just like
Yeah.
just kind of comes up.
Note to
Make
self.
sure not to breathe that in.
I would never.
Roll a con save. No, I'm just kidding.
Note to self: if we see a spectral elven woman coming at us, cover your ears, I guess. It was horrifying.
Yes, let's say that took a bit of my spirits away. But after seeing her, well, after seeing Mac that way, well, I'm glad it's taken care of.
Would my magical arrow that I used be retrievable?
Roll a d20.
3.
It is not. It's actually nowhere to be found.
That's creepy. Okay. Very creepy. Okay. Yeah, let's get out of here.
Alright, so I guess we go back out and start heading back up the main road.
Yeah, I think that's fine.
Okay. And just to give you guys like some better description of it, there's a lot of buildings along this main road. They're all kind of close together, probably right around like 3 stories on average, but they start to get bigger and they start to get taller as you progress towards the center of this city. So
I know it's dilapidated and stuff, but does it look like it's residential?
it does look rather residential at this section, at least.
Okay.
So you guys just kind of go through along the path just follow the road on the ground.
Yeah.
Isla scouting ahead.
Always.
Right. Roll perception for Isla.
Okay. I can use a different dice. So a 7.
7?
Yes.
Yeah. As she continues on ahead, the fog that I described over this area just starts to get thicker. It's really hard for her to kind of it's hard for her to scout from above, because it's just the fog is just too thick for her to really get a good clear view of what's ahead.
Sure.
So who's leading the way?
I am, but they kind of like as we're just like starting out, I kind of stumble just a little bit, see me like go over, and then I just like throw up. Me kind of like wipe my mouth, and then just kind of start to like walk a little bit slower, but still walking, like and then kind of continuing on.
I was like, Mac.
If it would be all right with everyone, could we stop for just a few minutes? Maybe in one of these alleyways, just off the main path that we're taking. I just need a few minutes, maybe 10.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
I've got a splitting headache, and I'm still a bit nauseous from earlier.
Sure.
All right.
I'll keep an eye on things
Me too.
as best I can.
Well, just stay in my eyesight. I'm going to say a kind of long prayer for us. So Melly's gonna go ahead and cast Prayer of Healing.
He's ridiculous. This
Melly's
is a good
not gonna have you guys walking around like that.
This
the
is a
right
good one,
one?
folks. What does Prayer of Healing do?
So, up to 6 creatures of my choice that I can see within range regain hit points equal to 2d8 plus my spellcasting ability modifier.
You almost said
Oh, yeah.
modifier there.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
So
Right.
after the prayer, does her spirit guide yell down, "Be healed"?
That's when I realized.
Guess we'll find
Very
out.
nice. Very nice. Okay. Ooh, nice.
Oh, and then plus
Everyone
5, right?
regains 19 hit points.
There it is. Yeah, that will do.
And
Great roll,
Thi-
man.
this can take me up to that. But do I still have the temporary hit points? I didn't know if I went down if that erased them.
What did we get the temporary hit points from again?
You don't have
Melly?
temporary hit points.
It's
From
from
8. I
8.
want to say it still persists.
Yeah, it lasts
Yeah.
for 8 hours. It doesn't say anything about them going down and losing it.
It
Okay.
increases your maximum, which is different than having temporary hit points. It's like temporary hit points, once they've been used, they're just gone. So here, your maximum is 5 points higher for that duration. So,
I didn't know if going
awesome.
down affected that.
yeah. No, I
Yeah,
think the only
so-
thing that can change it is just the passage of time.
Yeah, so you got another say 4.5 hours left of that.
Oh,
All right.
wow. Melly, that feels so much better. Oh my gosh. Thank you. Can't express that enough. Whew.
Well, we couldn't exactly have you walking around throwing up everywhere.
For the sake of the city.
I'm just glad that you're okay. That everyone's okay.
Yes, so am I. Hopefully we won't need to use that scroll, but maybe on the way out, if we can, we could maybe save one of those poor souls. Does that symbol that we saw in the church look like the symbol we saw on the stone statue? The guy, I think he was the guy with the staff. It's different. Okay.
Yeah, his was like a circle with a dot in the middle and then rays coming out.
Okay. For some reason I thought it was the same. I'm happy I asked. Okay. Yes, shall we continue?
And so then we continue down the road.
All right.
Oh, that's a Cheshire Cat grin right there. What are we stumbling into?
That's what
It's like the cat. What was it like the cat from Alice in Wonderland? He's got that big grin, like, haha, you're walking right into my trap.
Yeah, no, nothing. No. Roll. You're leading the way, right, Mac?
Yes.
Roll survival. Yeah, just roll survival. That's the leading the way.
Can
Roll.
Melly assist him?
Sure.
Melly's kind of sticking a little bit closer to Mac's side.
Well, thank you for assisting me, because the second one's a nat 20.
Nice.
The first one was a 7.
Awesome. And then Jake, have Vale roll for Isla again on perception, as she just kind of
Okay.
tries to.
Another 7. Unlucky 7.
Yeah. Yeah, so she's not. It's still kind of the same thing. She's trying to find the spot where she might be able to get a good look.
You'd think that she would be familiar with things, but okay.
But as you all kind of continue through this path, the fog begins to thicken as you get closer, but Mac is able to still kind of guide everyone around any of the hazardous looking things, like there's these like nasty giant looking mushrooms that just have that like red gross look to them that like anytime you see one in a video game you're like not doing that.
So it doesn't look like it's gonna make me enlarge and have super strength and
you could try it. But
okie dokie.
he kind of works his way around the moss and the thorns and everything. You're able to find an area where the fog seems to have lifted for a second, and as you continue on through, you look up and you notice that these buildings are starting to get taller. Not that they're growing, but like gradually as you're continuing on into the heart of this city, the buildings themselves are just taller here, as if they built the smallest ones on the outskirts, and it just kind of continued up, almost like a pyramid. And there's these massive spires that some of them are just down completely, and vines going straight through them, with that same moldy, purplish, dark hue to some of them. As you continue through, you just hear a loud as one of the spires that's being held up by a vine just collapses onto the ground and crashes, and this crash echoes throughout all of the city. Doesn't bring anything to you. I'm not going there. That already happened.
Does any of this look familiar to me in my music? Actually, you know what? Well, no, the thing just fell. I'll wait.
You can play the music box in
I
the
was
middle
gonna.
of
I was gonna.
So, do you continue on? Do you take a moment to watch the fallen tower? Do you check it out?
I think we should take a moment and hide and just see if any creatures are attracted to this sound.
how close are we to it? When like is it as we're passing it? It
Good question.
comes down.
It's up a ways. So we'll say like it's like a football field away. You see this thing drop.
Yeah, then I would suggest I agree, Vale. We should stop and wait and see if anything responds or.
Isla, go closer.
And I don't know if there's any like alleyways that we can kind of like go, or just different obstructions that maybe we could kind of like be somewhat hidden behind.
Sure.
Maybe a higher vantage point.
Well, are you going alleyways or higher vantage point?
I would want to stay street level personally.
I think I would be looking to see if I could climb on something. Nothing too crazy though.
All right. Okay. So what's happening? The group's running towards an alleyway, and you're trying to climb up, because I would say this city, it's a large city. There's a plethora of alleys for you to sneak by, and at this point there are a lot of tall buildings and areas that you could climb up as well.
I would be trying to stay with the group, and if in the alleyway there was a way to get some elevation and a better point of view, I would take that. But if not, I would stay with the group.
Sure. Yeah. So let's get a stealth check for everyone for the alleyway.
So 17.
19.
15.
Come on, Izzy.
A 6.
That's okay.
Group stealth checks, hopefully.
Yeah. Group stealth checks. Yeah. Yeah, you see, as everyone kind of backs into this alleyway, there's like a metal garbage can there, and Melly is like about to bump into it, and Mac just kind of like pushes her out of the way and grabs the can right before it knocks over. It's just like...
Now you're the one who saved me.
Seems like a fair enough trade from my perspective.
And Vale, if you want, there is, like I said, all these buildings around you are pretty tall. There's some rubble in this alleyway that you guys are kind of just hanging out around. And you would be able to try to climb up and get up. You don't have to fly up to like the top of a tower or anything, but you could definitely get up a couple stories and just try to see what's going on if you'd like to.
Yeah, that's all I'm trying to do.
Okay. Roll. How do you attempt to climb?
If it's rubble and I don't know if it's, is it like straight up a wall, or is it kind of just really rough terrain as I'm walking around?
To first get up, it would be, it's kind of like a rubbly hill. Depending on how high you want to climb, that's what's going to determine whether it's like straight up a wall or whether it's...
I'm not looking to put myself at risk by making a climb check here, but if there's just a way I can get a better vantage point, that's all I'm looking for.
Okay.
Because I also have Isla doing her thing, so...
Yeah. So, I would say climbing up the rubble would be dex, just to try to get up without like knocking rocks down and making noise, you know what I mean?
Sure.
So if you have, maybe not necessarily acrobatics, but if you have a dex check that you want to roll for that, maybe it could be acrobatics, could be, if anything, that...
I'm trying not to make noise too, so if you're fine with stealth, that's fine. All right, that's a dirty 20.
Yeah, so you're able to climb up. As you get up you're on like we'll say like the second floor of this building, and it does go up way further than that too, but you are on kind of like a rooftop style section, where like, I don't know how to describe this, but it's like there's a flat top right here, and then it would also continue going on up like a street like there.
Okay.
But you are able to get a better view of what's going on.
That's all.
Okay.
I would just be looking.
Okay. Looking at the wreckage?
Mm-hmm.
How long do you want to watch for?
5 minutes, maybe? I don't know.
Okay. Roll perception with advantage.
Okay. 13.
Give me D6.
Okay. 5.
5. Right. As you stand there, kind of watching from a distance and waiting. Also, why don't you roll for Isla to perception?
Okay. 12.
12? Okay.
Although she probably would be much closer, so I don't know if that affects things.
Yeah. As you stand there kind of watching and waiting for something to happen, it feels like forever. You're just sitting on top here for 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 4 minutes go by. You watch as the dust kind of settles from the crashing of this building. And you see ahead 6 robed figures. Kind of investigating the wreckage over there, investigating the tower. They're wearing purple robes and all just kind of very inquisitive as they look through and kind of just check around. And how long do you think you would watch them for before you did something?
Okay, so it's a good question. If I saw them just looking, I probably until something of significance happened. I'm not really sure, but I think I would tell Isla to just watch them, and then I would take out my copper wire and cast a message to Echo, because he's got his telepathy, and say, I see 6 hooded figures investigating. Let everyone know. You don't need to reply to this message. And then he just turns back and looks. Perfect.
I think so. I'm right next to everybody.
Yeah.
I'm assuming. All right. So I don't think I would do telepathy in that case. I'll just, as quietly as I can, just walk over and I'll relay the information.
Vale sees somebody. I believe he said 6 hooded figures. Investigating the spot where that spire fell. I guess he'll let us know what it is, or at least when it's safe for us to move, but let's lay low.
Can you ask him to see which way they head when they leave, if they leave together?
I'll make sure to ask. Just a moment.
And Echo's eyes turn purple, and he does the thing.
Vale. When they leave, let us know which way they go.
Should I have Isla follow them?
May not be a bad idea, though the range may be an issue.
We could talk to them. Look at the face right there.
Oh man, I'm trying to think of what Echo would say to that. Oh no. I think with everything that's going on, he still wouldn't be trusting. So,
Are you sure that that's wise? I understand that you see a puzzle to solve, but
Not at all.
Then perhaps we observe for now.
That's fine. Just thought I'd bring it up. And in the telepathy, you see his patented veil smirk when he knows he's up to something he probably shouldn't do.
I really like that we've sort of patented the idea of telepathy emojis.
Yeah.
I love it.
like that that's a thing.
I love it. So yeah, at this point, then I'm just going to watch.
Okay. I'll say it's pretty far, so you see them, but details are a little rough. Isla, on the other hand, kind of flags images towards you. She sees that she shows you this image that they have on themselves, on like a crest that they're wearing in their purple hooded robes. They have a circle, the dot in the middle, and rays coming out.
Is the telepathy still open? I was wondering this.
That's up to Echo.
Yeah, I'm asking Evan.
I don't think I would have closed the link.
Okay.
At least not like consciously. Like I wouldn't have hung up, as it were.
Sure. He just thinks, well, he'll just try and talk back to him as if it's open. It looks like they may be part of the same group that we saw the stone statue. Isla saw the symbol of the, looks like a dot with the rays coming out of it.
I don't know if that makes me trust them more or trust the statue less.
Less for me. I don't know why. And we have no idea.
Well, I'm glad we didn't use that scroll.
Yeah. We have no idea what the symbol is, Josh? Okay.
No idea. Sure.
I think
The
I'm just
minutes.
gonna keep looking, yeah.
Yeah, as the minutes continue to pass, they look around. You could hear through Isla too, right?
It's both, yeah.
Right. Yeah. So you just hear. I'm not sure what could have caused this.
Are they speaking common?
This one is speaking common. Yeah.
Okay.
Probably best to head back before anything else hears and before the shadows come about. We must continue. On. Our work here is very important. And they'll start walking up the road, the same direction that you were heading.
Is there any kind of a insight check that I could glean out of them, or no?
What are you trying to gain from an insight check?
I don't know. Does it seem like when they say their work here is very important, does that feel like weighted, like they're up to no good, or like what we're trying to do is going to save the world, or like, you know, like what? Like, is there sincerity? Is there greed? Is there like hunger for power? I don't know if that's something you can just tell, but
okay, interesting. Roll an insight check.
yeah, like this might be just a shot in the dark, but
Now
sometimes
here's
they
a
hit.
question: Is it yours, or it would be yours because you're?
I think if I'm listening and seeing,
yeah.
right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Hey, if you made me roll that wisdom save, I would say. Alright, man, it's an 8, so it doesn't matter.
You're not sure the intent behind it, but you get the feeling that he believes what he said is true.
Okay.
And with that, it's 10 o'clock. think we'll pick up from here next week.
Oh boy. Can't we just play D&D all day instead?
But who are the hooded figures? Where are they going?
There it is.
What's so important? Find out next week on
Ancient Relics.
and Hokey religions.
Nice. Oh, there's my water bottle.
Mystery solved.
There it is. We've discovered the mystery of
Once again,
Malleus
the
being.
day is saved.
Man.
That was the biggest accomplishment of the evening, locating the water bottle.
My gosh. Okay.
Genuinely had no idea where this was the whole time. I was like, all right, I guess I
Yeah.
have no water.
That's the thing. Oh man. That's a good... my interest is piqued. That's for sure.
Good. That was the intention.
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, thanks, Skelly. Telepathy emoji, is that what we're calling them?
Yeah, I like that. That's good.
Telepathy emoji.
Telepath emoji.
Ooh, okay. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. All right. Well,
We
hey,
got,
everybody.
got any questions for the end of this session? I know.
Anyone?
And it's usually
Questions?
usually our rhythm, right?
Yeah, we can hang around for a couple minutes if anyone has any questions.
Mhm.
While we're waiting on that, I will say, please go and subscribe now to JnJtabletop.
Yep.
YouTube.com/JnJtabletop, Twitch.tv/JnJtabletop. Also subscribe to itsevbo, Twitch.tv/itsevbo, YouTube.com/itsevbo, and follow them on Twitter, itsevbo.
It is not youtube.com/itsevbo because I don't have enough subs to get a good URL.
All right, so find them.
We could definitely do
Find
that.
me. I'm around.
We'll make that up.
Looks like Skelly wants to ask about the game you're in that he's the DM, Evan.
Any more questions that I Fair enough. All right. Well, make sure you subscribe to Rare Drop, Twitch.tv/itsraredrop, not It's Rare Drop, Twitch.tv/raredrop, YouTube.com, not /raredrop. It's something else on their URL. So just go to raredrop.co and find all the things and
Yes.
check it out because they got a lot of fun stuff going on.
They do.
Tomorrow, I'm sure they'll be on talking about Star Wars with the Star Wars and Scotch podcast. And
Yeah, it's
It's
not
great to
Baby
see you
Yoda
all.
anymore. I'm sure they're going to talk about that.
it's not Baby Yoda anymore. I haven't. I'm not caught up. So.
We have a name. That's all I'll say.
Oh, we have a name.
We have a
Wow.
name. Yeah.
Oh, that's
Wow.
exciting.
Wow.
All right.
Yeah, so I'm sure that'll be a fun episode tomorrow.
Cool. Yes, definitely check that out. You don't want to miss it. All right, friends. Be kind to each other. Take it easy. Be safe. Give someone a wave and a smile next time you see him, or not a smile because you won't be able to see it. Learn to smile with your eyes because you have to for masks.
And it goes over your nose.
Yes.
Goodbye.
All right, everybody. Have a good night. We'll see you next week. This has been Ancient Relics and Hokey Religions.